So here's the latest this morning. Nokia announcing a new plan to streamline its business with a focus on AI. The Nokia CEO, Justin Hotard, saying Nokia changed the world once by connecting people and will again by connecting intelligence. Justin Hotard joins us now for more. Justin, good morning. Good to see you.
Great to see you, John.
We've got some time with you, so let's take a big step back. Our generation, of course, knows your company well. Late 90s, early 2000s, handsets. What do you want it to be in the next few years?
Yeah, I want us to be a company that's known for connecting intelligence and ushering in the AI era. And here's why. If you think about that time where the world came to know Nokia, it was about connecting people. That, of course, was the tagline. But it was mobile devices. It was text messaging on a 12-key keypad. It was calling people anytime, anywhere, calling our friends, our family, our work colleagues. And of course, it was about the game Snakes, which I got more messages from when I was announced as CEO.
Absolutely hooked on
it. So, but then the world changed, and the internet super cycle came, and it was all about connecting information. And as mobile devices became not just about calling, they came about applications and data. Nokia lost out and moved from being a handset provider to being a network provider, an infrastructure provider. And the reality is, if you look at the telecommunications industry, our primary customer base, the industry also was slow to capture that transition. Really, if you think about 2G and 3G mobile communications, they were largely about voice. Mobile data was coming in, and we were building better voice networks. So as bandwidth went from mobile apps to mobile streaming, the industry's been catching up. 5G still fairly low penetration when you think about it globally, 35% penetration in the market. So as we look ahead, we need to start anticipating where the market's going. And with AI, the market is going to change dramatically. It's already changing in the data center, which is a part of our business. We're building AI factories. Obviously, Jensen talks a lot about this. I know NVIDIA has earnings later today. But we're connecting data centers to each other and building massive AI factories. That's using our optical technology. It's using our IP routing technology. And where's the future headed? The future's headed to physical AI, robotics, autonomous vehicles, delivery drones, AR, VR, glasses, more and more devices. And fundamentally, that means our networks need to change to handle that. And that's what we're planning for and anticipating to seize that opportunity.
Can you briefly describe the growth opportunity here and how the growth profile of your company will change as you make this shift?
Yeah, look, I mean, today you see the pockets of growth that we have in the fixed infrastructure. And as we see this build for AI native networks going into mobile, we're going to see tremendous growth there. It's just not coming in the next few years. We believe it will come over the longer term as the market invests and builds, but it's not going to be in the next couple of years. So really think of our business in a couple of ways. Capturing growth in fixed infrastructure today, and then in mobile infrastructure, positioning the business for technology innovation and longer term growth as that market picks up.
What industries do you expect to be most dominant in? Are there particular industries that you think will be fastest to adopt the AI connectivity that you're hoping to provide?
Yeah, I think there's a few things. First of all, there's no question that the core tech industry that we're in today is the engine of growth, right? AI and cloud customers, hyperscalers, cloud providers. And that's, of course, serving the technologies we have today, LLMs, AI agents. But when we look ahead, I see it being in areas like transport and logistics and manufacturing, physical AI. Also, an area that we already serve that we call mission critical enterprises. Think of public safety, rail, transport. These are places where AI can add better reliability, better security, better outcomes for people. If you think about public safety, for example, emergency services, and those are areas where I think we'll see faster AI adoption. But I don't think we can predict the future perfectly. We need to just anticipate what are the use cases and the needs. It may be that delivery drones, other retail applications also accelerate, and those are early users. So for us, it's about building the plumbing and the core capability that we need.
This is a difficulty for markets right now. This idea that there could be a duration mismatch between the amount of money people are putting into some of these technologies and when we'll actually see results. How do you prepare investors for the fact that the investments that you make might not turn a profit in the same kind of way that they're expecting for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, even 10 years down the line?
Yeah, first of all, I think this is what's great about our company is that is that we have all of the assets to participate in those different duration profiles. And one of them I didn't talk about yet is actually our technology standards business, which we're now announcing as a part of mobile infrastructure. That's a business that does IP licensing. So that actually has an even longer duration. So we invest today and we see, we'll see a 10 or 20-year horizon on returns on that business. And the reality is in technology, we always invest well ahead of these curves. We're always 3 to 5 years ahead. And the benefit for investors, for us, is that you're getting the benefit of growth today with what we're seeing in AI and cloud, and you're seeing us prepare so that you can participate as the growth comes later in mobile. And ultimately, underneath that is really strong cash flow with our IP licensing business.
Justin, you've seen the pushback in the market. I'd love some take from you, your reflection on what we've seen over the last few weeks. There is a worry about overbuild, overcapacity, and you operate in the physical world. Are you worried about that, and how do you position the company to leverage this potential, this opportunity, without being a big part of a potential bust down the road?
Yeah, I think, John, you said it perfectly. We need to be disciplined, and one of the reasons we announced the strategy that we announced today is around being disciplined. We can't invest in mobile networks assuming that we're going to have growth next year. The reality is the mobile network providers, the telcos, are largely flat. They have challenged returns on their capital. So we have to be disciplined around where we invest, and we have to be incredibly efficient around those investments. The other side, though, is even if you look, there's a lot of excitement and talk about a bubble, but even when you go back and look at the internet bubble, the dot-com bubble was a couple of years, and then growth and infrastructure continued. If you go back and look at the players that won, they were prepared because they were investing through that cycle. And from an R&D perspective, we have to continue to invest through that cycle. And honestly, when I look at some of the fundamentals, when I look at the value that AI delivers, the productivity impact, even the productivity impact we're seeing internally in some of our use cases, and the potential productivity impact for the things we haven't even deployed yet, there's so much ROI. And I think that's what's a little bit different about this, is that from a business and a productivity perspective, it's much richer than what we saw in .com. .com in the early days was largely a consumer phenomenon. This is much more about business productivity. And that's why I think even though we will have periods of digestion, and we may have some players come in and out of the market, all very natural in tech. By the way, we see this in every cycle. I think the long-term trends are very, very favorable. And for us, and certainly as a CEO of a tech company, we need to be looking at the long term. And that's why this partnership that we announced a couple weeks ago with NVIDIA is so important. And certainly, I think Jensen obviously has clear vision for the long term.
Yeah.
But that's why there's so much synergy between us, because what he's doing and his vision for where this needs to go and our vision for what we need to deliver are just very, very naturally matched.